Hey, what's up guys, Gizmodic here. This is the Asus Zenfone Max Pro and I'm glad that I delayed this review. So I've had the Asus Zenfone Max Pro since the last 45 days and in that time frame this phone has gotten quite a few updates. In fact, I do think that the Asus Zenfone Max Pro is one of the best budget smartphones because it starts at a very attractive price range and it also has a very good specification set. But then unfortunately it's not, and in today's review I'm going to tell you why. So without wasting any more time, let's get started with my review of the Asus Zenfone Max Pro. So first we're going to talk about hardware because this is one area where Asus has nailed it really well. So on the outside, the Asus Zenfone Max Pro gets an all metal body that you can either get it in the grey or the black shade. I have the black 3GB variant of this phone and I have to say that the build quality of this phone feels very premium and solid. It's on par with the other phones in this segment and Asus hasn't really compromised on that. On the front you have a very beautiful 18:9 6-inch Full HD Plus display. It has some really good contrast and colors and honestly I prefer this display more than the one on the Redmi Note 5 Pro. But then one issue I have with the display is that it's not Gorilla Glass. So the problem with this is that it attracts a lot of scratches. So I would suggest you to get a tempered glass for this phone. I honestly haven't found a good one on Amazon or anything like that. But in case I find one, I'll make sure to put the link in the description box. So yeah, get a tempered glass for your Asus Zenfone Max Pro. Apart from that, from the outside, the phone is made really well. And on the inside as well, this phone is superb. You've got a Snapdragon 636 processor, 3, 4 or 6 gigs of RAM, a freaking 5000 mAh of battery, and you have dual 4G as well and a separate microSD card slot. So yeah, as you'd expect, the raw performance out of this phone is superb. It would handle anything that you throw at it, be it your social media apps or gaming or multitasking or anything like that. This phone has no issues in handling that. Even on this 3GB variant that I have been using, the performance has been very smooth and fluid for the most part. I love the fact that Asus chose to go with stock Android as compared to their Zen UI because this phone is really responsive. They've only added Zen Motion to the software, which are these useful gestures like double tap to wake, double tap to sleep and so on, and like I said, I like the fact that this phone has stock Android. What I don't like is the fact that how Asus is handling the software on this phone because there are quite a few issues on the Asus Zenfone Max Pro. First of all, there is a big issue with the Bluetooth audio on this phone. The thing is, the audio via Bluetooth is not very loud from the Asus Zenfone Max Pro. Plus, if someone calls you, you cannot hear that person clearly. That person is barely audible and you just can't have a proper conversation over Bluetooth. I've connected it to a couple of devices, be it my cars or my Bluetooth earphones, but then every time I have faced the same issue. This phone has gotten 3 updates since the last 1 month, but Asus has not fixed it yet. So yeah, if you're someone who uses Bluetooth a lot for phone calls and things like that, maybe this phone is not the right choice right now. I hope Asus fixes this really soon with an update. The second issue that's not been fixed yet is the multi-touch issue. So the problem is that when you're using 2 or more fingers on the phone, let's say while playing a game or while zooming into a photo, you get these random touches and your inputs don't get registered properly. So as you can see, I'm playing a game right now, or if I zoom into a photo, it doesn't happen perfectly all the time. So that is the multi-touch issue that was there on a lot of Android Oreo phones, and with the May and June security update, all of these phones are getting these issues fixed. So the next update that the Asus Zenfone Max Pro gets will hopefully fix the multi-touch issue on the phone. Let's keep our fingers crossed. The third issue is the camera software. I've highlighted this in my Google camera on the Asus Zenfone Max Pro video, and the camera app that Asus supplies with the Max Pro is total garbage. The image processing is not that great on it, and if you've seen that video, you would know that Google camera produces much better results, almost as good as the Redmi Note 5 Pro. But then I don't want to blame Asus 100% because they are working on it, and since the last 3 updates, the camera performance has improved quite a bit. Especially the front-facing camera performance has improved, the selfies are better, there is better color reproduction, and the portrait mode has improved as well. It's not 100% there yet, but then Asus is on the right track. But then Asus, if you're listening, please just enable the camera to API for us. We don't want anything more because we can just install Google Camera without rooting the phone and have the best camera experience. Your hardware is good, but then your software is messing things up. So yeah, please fix that. Anyways, if you want to know more about the camera on the Asus Zenfone Max Pro, I have two videos about it. I'm gonna link them in the I button here, and I'll also put a link in the description box. So in case you guys are interested, make sure that you watch those videos. Lastly, the fingerprint sensor on this phone was really slow. Initially, when I got the Asus Zenfone Max Pro, the fingerprint sensor wasn't accurate. It would have a lot of misses and it just was too slow. So yeah, finally Asus has fixed that with the last update and it's pretty fast. So it just takes less than a second to unlock the phone. It's still not as fast as the Redmi Note 5 Pro, but it's doable and it does the job well. Oh, and also there is face unlock on this phone. I honestly didn't use it that much because it takes around 1 or 2 seconds to recognize your face and then unlock. I always resorted to the fingerprint sensor, but still, face unlock is there and if you want it, you can use it. What's also nice on this phone is the 5000 mAh of battery. I can't tell you how much I love the battery on this phone because even if you're a really heavy user, the battery is not going to die. It will last you one full working day and even more, and no matter how hard you try, you won't kill this battery in one day. So yeah, great job by Asus. Like I said, this is my favorite feature on this phone and I wish that more and more flagship phones come with 5000 mAh of battery. It's something that I really want on a lot of phones, huge battery life. But then with great battery life comes great charging times. And Asus Zenfone Max Pro is no different. The stock charger can take around 3 to 3.5 hours to charge this phone to 100%, which is quite a lot. In this day and age of dash charging, these charging times are really slow, and the Snapdragon 636 actually does support fast charging, but then I don't know why the power brick that's there with the Asus Zenfone Max Pro doesn't support that. So yeah, if you're gonna charge your phone from 0%, be prepared to wait for 3.5 hours. Also, with the last update, a lot of people were saying that their charging times have gone up to 4 or 5 hours, but then for me it's always been around the 3-hour mark, so don't worry about that. But then please charge your phone overnight because you don't want to hunt for the charger in the middle of the day and then wait for 3 hours for your phone to charge. Apart from that, the battery life is really good. I just wish that Asus could have given us a fast charger inside the box. Talking about some other things, the call quality was really good on this phone. Like I said, you have dual VoLTE support, so you can use 2 Jio SIM cards, and then there's a separate micro SD card slot. But then do note that this is not an adaptable storage slot, so all of your apps will still be on the main memory. You can't install them on the memory card unless you root your phone. But nevertheless, it's nice to have a separate SD card slot. These two things aren't there on the Redmi Note 5 Pro. There is no dual VoLTE, neither there is a separate SD card slot. So if that's important to you, you should consider the Asus Zenfone Max Pro. Lastly, I would like to talk about the loudspeaker on this phone because I really liked it. It's fairly loud, and then Asus gives you this thing called as Max Box in which you can put in your phone. So it's like a dock. You put your phone in and it sort of amplifies the audio from in the downward direction. So I'm playing a demo right now, and as you can see, it does do the job quite well. It's a pretty cool trick, and apart from amplifying the audio, it works as a dock as well. So a good thing to have inside the box. So to conclude, the Asus Zenfone Max Pro is a superb phone. It gets a lot of things right, be it the hardware, the performance, the battery life, but then where it falls short is in terms of software. Honestly, I do feel that Asus did a half-baked attempt at the software of this phone in order to quickly launch the device into the market, because there are still a lot of issues like I mentioned in this video that need to be fixed. So Asus, if you're listening, please fix those issues because you do have a really good device in the market. Also, if you're listening, where is the 6GB RAM variant of this phone? You can't just announce a phone and then not put it up for sale for 2 months. Just get that 6GB RAM variant out because it's priced really well and it also has a better camera. Anyways, I don't know what's going on at Asus, but then if you are interested in buying the Asus Zenfone Max Pro, I hope that this video has helped you out. I have mentioned all of the issues that are there with this phone, so if they matter to you, maybe you should look elsewhere, but if they don't, you can consider buying the Asus Zenfone Max Pro. I really liked using this device, and I actually rooted it and I installed Google Camera and I fixed the multi-touch issue as well. So if you're willing to root your phone, I don't mind recommending the Asus Zenfone Max Pro. But then if not, then make sure that you are fine with all of these issues, or else just wait until Asus fixes all of these issues and then buy this phone. Also, there is a flash sale for this phone as well, so good luck with that. Anyways, that's all for now. I hope you guys enjoyed this video of the Asus Zenfone Max Pro. If you guys like me in front of the camera more, then please let me know in the comments. I'll try to be in front of the camera in my future videos as well. As always, if you guys liked this video, then please press the thumbs up button, also press the subscribe button and press the notification bell if you're new to the channel so that you don't miss out on these awesome videos. Also, please follow me on my Twitter and Instagram pages because I would love to interact with you guys there. So yeah, if you haven't followed me yet, the links are in the description box. Anyways, thanks for watching and I'll be back in your notifications really soon. Peace.